Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering the newest release in the RD Track series. This is another King MX creation and it is Cactus Valley. What perfect timing for a WhatsApp message in the background as soon as I press the record button. I believe this track is number 4 in the series so far. We've had one from King, I think we then had one from Kells. Then there was one more that I'm missing off the top of my head, but then I believe this is number 4. So this is set obviously in like a more deserty vibe with the cactuses all over the place. And I have already spun a few laps on this track to make sure I can do it as much justice as possible. And so we've got this section over here. Just feels extremely supercrossy. It's very flowy when you get it right. And also, I'm going to be showing off today, which is also subject to change, so don't hold me too liable for it, my St. Jude skins that I'll be running tonight in the Supercross race. So the Supercross race at Nashville is the Love Moto Stop Cancer for St. Jude's Hospital. So we're going to be rocking some pink gear, which I think looks very, very sexy, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's spin some laps. I know for a fact that a bunch of you will absolutely hate this skin, this bike and this gear. Now it is subject to change. The gear is going to stay the same just because it's a one-off, you know, it's nothing too bad by being all dripped out in pink. But the bike will probably change because after riding the GP at Arnhem the other day, it kind of just hit me just how much slower the Suzuki is, even just in straight line. And Supercross, you don't usually feel the effects as much if you can keep your momentum up around the corners. But if there's any big lines at Nashville, I will probably be screwed. But one bike that I have been vibing with recently is the old Fantic. I got set a setup for it, tweaked it a little bit, made it my own, and I can set incredibly fast lap times. Issue at the moment is my consistency, because it does end up being a little bit twitchy in some of the ruts. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it rides. I need to get a pink version of the Fantic going, because I don't have one just yet. So that's the only reason that I'm rocking the Suzuki right now, is the template that I had was just easily accessible. It was right there for me just to change the colours of the plastics. What was annoying is I made the FMF pipe on the Suzuki pink, but because I'm a noob when it comes to skinning, it has the stock pipe on it. I imagine I have to name things in a certain way and pack it all together, and I don't know how to do that. The only downside is that the gear gets muddy extremely quickly, as I've had one crash so far, and I'm already just covered in the brown stuff, and not the brown stuff that you want to be covered in either. So I have been very, very privileged for Reaper to actually slide in my DMs and send me this track just before it's released. I believe it's still going to release the day that I'm recording this, which is the 18th, which is Thursday. So you should all see this Friday morning. So you should be able to go on the shop and give it a download by now, unless there's any kind of last-minute issues and touch-ups that need to happen. I've already sent a couple of screenshots back to Reaper here and there, or of like a floating bow and some fences that aren't quite connected to the floor. So I imagine they'll make 1 or 2 more changes to whole objects. So what you see here is probably like 99.9% of the final product. I don't believe there'll be any more height map changes as far as the track goes. It would just be the environment and the scenery and things like that. But I've noticed we do get quite a few deserty style tracks on the game these days. And I think it's just because it's easier to do than having fully fleshed out environment with a bunch of trees everywhere. Because desert kind of, it gives... It's not like a dead vibe, if you know what I mean, but, you know, where you've got all of the dried out trees and the brush and things like that. You even got some, I don't know if there's tumbleweeds around here, but you know what I mean, the very, very dry feel where there's no, like, greenery, no foliage as such. It definitely, I think it's easier to accomplish. I don't know where they've got these rocks from, or if they've made them, but the rocks look very, very nice indeed. And you guys know that I'm a fan of the lighter textures on dirt on this game. For some reason, it's just easier on my eyes, and I feel like you can pick out lines a lot easier rather than when stuff is very, very dark. Because usually the idea is your ruts are kind of darker inside of them and lighter on the tops. But if you've already got a very, very dark texture, then it's hard to go darker than dark, if that makes sense. So you can't really like some of the stuff gets, I guess, washed out. It all looks like the same texture, but when you start off with a very light base like this, you can see it looks all very nice and uneven. So there's no, it's all very unique is what I'm trying to say. It's not like repeating at all. Everything looks very natural. There's no 2 bits that really look the same as each other. He's done a good job with like the norms and the texturing so far. You can see all the little like digger trails and tyre marks around the track to make it look like it's been pre-ridden on. Obviously the track boasts 40 gates as well, so we'll be able to do it in some online lobbies very shortly too. And yeah, so I was discussing this the other day actually with my girlfriend, because I now have a date for moving. I'm going to be moving house, so we get the keys, I think, on the 1st of May, which is very, very soon. But then that's like a Wednesday. So I plan on basically Friday taking all my stuff up there because my parents want to help out with like moving everything and getting a movable van, etc. And driving up there, moving all my stuff and relocating. So I probably will miss the Friday and possibly Monday races. If there is a Monday race, I think GP's got a big old like 4-week break now, like a month gap. But for Supercross, I might miss another round, which kind of does suck for championship points. But yeah, it's what it is. Life comes first. But what that does mean is because I'll have my own place and I'll be fully in control of everything that I do and everything that happens within the house, I should be able to set up an actual streaming schedule, which will be very, very cool. Now, obviously, I've had this debate with the girlfriend already because she works from 9 to 5. My streams are usually, let's say, like 8 till 11 or 8 till 12 for my time. So you'd only have a very small window of actually spending time with each other. So we just got to try and find that nice little balance, have a couple of days a week where I can sit and chill and watch TV or go out with her, and then a couple of days a week where I sit there streaming. Then I can also, hopefully, finally get into a good routine of sleep and waking up at a good time. Because at the moment, I'm waking up at about 12 o'clock, 1 p.m, so like midday, 1 p.m-ish, which only gives me X amount of time to record a YouTube video, then edit and upload YouTube video as well, which the whole process takes maybe like 2-3 hours, maybe even longer if it's a particularly edited one. And then we've got to do TikToks and Instagram Reels, etc., which then take another little bit of time. So by the time that I'm done with all that, I literally eat dinner and then I'm streaming again. I don't really have time to get ahead of the curve, if that makes sense. Whereas if I would just wake up a couple of hours sooner, then I would have like multiple more hours in the day where I could get all of my content stuff done early. I could then stream other games on Twitch throughout the course of the day, then still carry on with the MX Bike stuff in the evening and just like spread myself out a bit and diversify. And that's what I want to try and do, is treat it a bit more like work. Because I, as well as some of the other YouTubers in the scene at the moment, will admit that the going is not good on the YouTubes right now. Unless you're like the young whippersnappers, they're up and coming, they're taking over. I mean, Troy's doing really well, Kelso's doing really well. I have no idea how Troy does the numbers he does on TikTok. Like, that's insane to me. Like, my TikToks just never take off, so I have to give him a round of applause for that. He's doing incredibly good. Yeah, but some of us, it has dipped right off right now. So just looking for ways to diversify. And then worst case scenario, if I have to go back to doing full-time or part-time work alongside the YouTube, I'm more than happy to do so. We had a nice run while it was there, and so we'll try and keep going as long as we possibly can do. What I am excited for is whenever the release of the new Chasing the Dream game comes out. Again, I haven't got dates for that, but I'm hoping that does really, really well and just kind of injects a new bit of life into the channel and stuff, because it gets a little bit repetitive at the moment, especially on streams. There's only so much you can do just because of the infrastructure of bikes. Like a lot of stuff, if you want to kind of branch out a bit and do things a bit different, like if you wanted to host let's say a straight rhythm tournament, it's very, very manual. You haven't got like scripts or stuff like that you can run and to make sure everyone's all in the servers at the same time, so you have to kind of do it all yourself and manage people, and it gets a little bit tedious and a little bit difficult. Which is why, for the most part, we kind of do like our limbs, our backwards limbs every now and then. Oh, let's get up and over that. We'll just do normal races as well. That's kind of what you're limited to for the most part. But I'll try and do some brainstorm as well. And of course, I'm always open to suggestions from you guys. You guys do come up with some very, very good ideas. So yeah, send them my way. I'm more than happy to have a little bit of a read through. Do you know what is making me happy right now? Is the absolute flow around this track. I'm not sure what it is, but it just flows very, very nicely. I'm on a 450 right now. I'm not sure how well it will ride on a 2. There's some jumps I am having to stretch out a bit. So, I mean, take that with a pinch of salt if you're usually a 250 rider. Don't expect to be getting over everything absolutely clean, is what I would say. And I have also just noticed, I'm so sorry, we're literally like 10 minutes into this. I've been playing in third person the whole time. Is it really bad that I've just been enjoying playing third person recently? More so from a fun aspect. I could, but I wouldn't want to race in third person because I'm just not as fast or as consistent as playing in first, especially if when you get to some like the rough GP tracks, for example, playing in third person for me and trying to work out where your front end is placed in all the ruts is very, very difficult. So I do have to give a round of applause to the guys that do manage to play in third often. Jesus, that's a big old jump there. Let's try and hit this line that I have been hitting normally. So we step over. Oh no, that's fun, that's fun. I thought I jumped too far to the right. then big quad, over jump the quad. Please don't give me a horrible Boso bounce. That's fine. Just tap the back brake there. Lovely. This is actually the first time me using this bike in first person as well. I've been just messing around in third, just having a look to make sure everything is as it should be. I mean, it looks quite nice. It does. I don't know. I'm torn now between if I want to stick to the Dookie again or go Fantic. I know I'll be faster on, but maybe less consistent. The issue that I have is I'm very hot and cold at the moment in terms of my performances in race days. I either do really, really well, and I mean with a chance of winning, or I just keep crashing over and over again, and I'm lucky to get like a top 5. Like if I'm lucky, I'll get a top 5. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I need to change. I'm not sure if I just need to play more than I am now. I think I'm at like 35-ish hours in the last 2 weeks now, which I'm aware is more than some of the top guys, but it's a less than a bunch of top guys. You know, I'm kind of in that middle ground of playtime, at least in the pro area. And yeah, maybe I just need to spend more time and just go a little bit more tryhard. Then I feel like when you play more, you then expect more of yourself. So if I put in double the amount of time I do now and still got the same positions, I'll be even more frustrated. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Not sure what I want to do. Whether I want to just take it very fun and casual and ride all these weird and wonderful bikes all the time and just see what the bikes are capable of, or if I do want to try and go a little bit more tryhard and ride something a little bit quicker. But either way, Fantic isn't a bike that's given much love, and I'll be honest, I had to do quite a lot to it in the setup side of things to get it to behave how I wanted. So it's amazing in whoops on Supercross. At least the setup I got sent was really, really good in whoops and in the chop and in the bumps. The issue that it had was it didn't turn. Say it didn't turn. It didn't turn anywhere near as well as bikes like the Husky or the KTM, for example. So, call me crazy. You're more than welcome to. The setup that I have ended on takes that good suspension that's nice through the whoops, but then on the geometry side of things, it's literally a 0 swing arm, which, as you can imagine, makes it very, very nippy and nimble, but at the same time, it does cost you that overall stability where sometimes if you're leant over a bit too far in the corners and you drag a peg or drag your handlebars, the chances of surviving aren't good. So it's kind of one of them where you'd have to intentionally like reel it in a little bit and not try and go a million miles an hour all the time. But in terms of overall lap times, I had 1 or 2 tracks that I loaded up, and within the space of like 10 laps, I had beaten not only my qualifying time, but I'd got on the fastest qualifying time out of all the 450s, and I don't think I've top qualied in Supercross yet. I know I've done outdoors. I can't remember if I've done anything in Super. I'm usually a little bit off the pace. But that was a nice little confidence booster, knowing that 1 lap pace is there. But 1 lap pace doesn't really mean much if you keep crashing in the main event. Yeah, you have to be able to do it in the race as well. So we'll see. We'll see. That there's a high chance that maybe I rock up with the pink gear on Friday's race and then just have like a standard Fantic, because I don't know what you need to call things these days and naming wise. Luckily, when it came to this bike here, I think I downloaded a random skin off MXB mods and then unpacked it, so I had a norm and a spec map, and then I just made my my actual graphics, my main like target file. So yeah, it is what it is. You'll see. Well, whatever I rock up with on Friday, we'll try and do at the best to my ability as always, and we'll see how it goes. I'm due a good Supercross race. It's been a little while. I'm fed up of just being mid all the time and getting like 5ths over and over again. Need to get back near the top because I've had 2 wins this season, which is more than last year at least. But last year I was much more consistently in like that 2nd and 3rd place, whereas this year it's been more like 5ths and 6ths when I'm not winning. So we'll try and get back towards the top. I will try my very, very best. And I realise I've probably been waffling for quite a while now. Go and download this track. Very, very fun, very flowy. It gives me almost Widowmaker-y type vibes, if that makes sense. Like if anyone's played Widowmaker, I'm sure most of you have. It's one of the most popular tracks that appears on server lists these days, made by AZ Desert Rat, big old Arizona Desert Rat, great name. And yeah, it gives me that same sort of flow, same sort of vibe, very, very smooth everywhere. And it's got that usual like King MX touch where things are flowy, not too rough, big old berms to hold you, and then nice flowy jumps. I've not yet got over that triple clean, which is really, really annoying me. And then this section here, if you get it right, I might come up short here. No, I think we're good, yeah. If you get it right, just so flowy. Does feel a little bit Supercrossy in terms of getting your rhythms down. Not too sure what I need to do in this section just yet, because, oh, you can see there's a few lines that are just a little bit outside of the Suzuki's area of stretching, but maybe KTM or Husky, you could fly over them, no problem at all. So first of all, thank you very much, Reaper, for sliding this my way and giving me some content to make for the day. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, well done on all these tracks' successes so far. They seem to be going down very, very well with the community. And myself, I've enjoyed all of them. They've all ridden very nicely. And then thank you, all of you guys, for watching. As always, it is very much appreciated. More now than ever, more than you'll ever know. Whilst in the stressful period of spending lots of money to get a house for the first, or say get a house, rent a house for the first time. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to. Catch you in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got sold to be with my